Well, hello, everybody. Hope you can hear me and see me. This is all kind of very new stuff, so we're learning as we go. Want to join the stream CrossBow tour? All right, just bear with me here while I'm responding to some people. We're not going to start right away. Just trying to give everybody a chance to get logged in here. Oops. Hope everybody's holiday season is going well. Oh, I see you, Linda. Hello. Yeah, let's just switch this over so I can see the chats. Sierra has hands up. Thank you, Sierra. She's also sitting right next to me, so that's cheating. I've got some music in the background that rhymes with doubt bander, because I legally can't say what it is. All right. We're just trying to get some more people connected here. Here we go. Sorry, I'm doing a little troubleshooting for some folks here. There, we'll try that. Try turning the music up here just a little bit. Yeah, you're probably not going to hear a whole lot because it's my phonograph back there coming into the microphone here. Oh, hey, Deb and Becky and Joanne, Chelsea in the house. Fantastic. Hi, guys. So this is really, really cool. And Missy. Hi. Or sorry, Melissa. You said Tom and Melissa, but your profile says Missy, so sorry if I got that wrong. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight. It's just me when I say us. Everybody else in the band is at their humble abodes. I do have my lovely assistant, my sister. She's back in town for the holidays, so she's going to be off to the side and helping look at comments and let me know if anything is going super crazy. Also, welcome to my home. So I'm based in Chelsea, and yeah, we're just gonna have a little chat. Oops. Don't want to get shut down for copyright, so we're gonna move on to the next song. Okay. So it looks like we've got a few people already tuned in. So unless I get more messages of people having issues, I think we'll just kind of get started. The whole point of this is just to have kind of a nice laid back little chit chat about our Scotland trip and to just hang out. So my plan is I'm just going to go through the itinerary, and hopefully you guys will have some questions. That's what I'm here for. Would love to answer anything you guys have for me. And yeah, if at any point questions come up, hopefully I will catch them, and Sierra will keep me in line and let me know if there's anything else that I'm missing. I do have all the chats on the side here. Columbus, Ohio. Oh, are you sure? You want some Yanks from Michigan to come down to Columbus? I mean, we'll make it happen if you'll have us. All right, fantastic. So I'm using, in case anybody's interested, this thing called Restream. And so that's what's helping me broadcast to all three: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And there's all kinds of really cool features. Like, check this out. I can show you. Whoops. There they are. Look at this. we're getting comments showing on here. That's so cool. So don't say anything too embarrassing because I will out you. Okie doke. Really good part of the music. I hope you guys can hear that from our Drought Bander playlist. Song of the Druids or Dance of the Druids, I think. Yeah, Dance of the Druids, that's what it's called. Hey, Shelly, if you want to chat with me, all you have to do is just comment on whichever of these feeds that you're looking at. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it all shows up on my screen. So hi, Sarah. Hey, Aunt Cam. And Joe. Okay. Wow, we've got all kinds of people coming in. So yeah, if you have a question, you can chat in there. For anyone who's a little more adventurous and a little tech savvy, we do have a way that you can actually join. So if you don't mind being on the stream where everyone can see you, you can actually join this call. I'm going to put up a little link here in a little bit so that you guys can see how to do that. Here, actually, I'll just do that right now. Let's see how this looks. Look at that. Boom. So if you want to take a picture of that or write that link down, tell you what I might do also is I'm going to post this in the chat. So here, this will be a good test actually, okay? So we're going to go chats. I'm going to try and post this link. And Sierra, you tell me if you see this show up on YouTube or Facebook. It looks like it's posting too. So do you see a link on here? Yeah. But you don't see it on there yet. It hasn't caught up yet. Okay. How about just let me know maybe when it's there? Okay, cool. So folks, if you see, where was your favorite place to perform in Scotland? Oh, wow. we're hitting the questions hard already. All right, I'll come back to that in just a second. Yeah. So if you see that link in the chat or in the comments below this video, wherever you're watching it, you can click that link and you should be able to join the call here. I think it only lets me allow 10 people at a time, and I have to really make sure that I'm watching to see if anybody does try this, because I think I have to let you in. So if I'm not letting you in, my apologies. I will get right on that. Okay. But yeah, if you want to try that, that might be kind of cool so that I can actually talk to you here for a second. Okay. So we've got some questions already. Awesome. Benjamin Logan says, where was your favorite place to perform in Scotland? So, officially as the band, we've performed only in one spot. And that was when we were there in August of 2022. We went and visited the Clan MacPherson Museum. If you've been to any of our shows, you've heard us do MacPherson's Lament. And in the story, as you well know, is that Jamie breaks his fiddle over the head of the executioner before he jumps off the platform. Well, that fiddle has survived, and that fiddle is on display, and that actually was the entire reason that we went to Scotland. We were going to go in 2020, but then because of COVID, we had to push it back a lot, and that gave us an opportunity to like really make the most out of the trip. And at first I didn't want anything to do with trying to schedule a show over there, because it was just going to be a logistical nightmare, I thought. Well, we took a shot at it, and it turned out to be great. We held a benefit concert for the Clan MacPherson Museum to try and help them raise some funds for some renovations on their building. And the best part about it that I love sharing with everybody is that all of the gear except for our mixer and Adam's penny whistles was completely donated and borrowed by local people from Scotland all over the place. So for those of you who are coming on the trip, I'm so excited for you guys to meet true, authentic Scots and to see the amazing hospitality. It's kind of unrivaled, in my opinion. Here, we've actually got, somebody, Joe Cody, wanted to join. Hey there, Joe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, I can hear you too. This is so cool. Here, I'll turn the music down a little bit. So, remind me, are you one of the signees that you're actually already signed up for the trip?
I am.
Amazing. How many people are you bringing?
So Tom and Melissa Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And is this going to be your first time going to Scotland?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, we're super excited to have you with us and to be the ones to introduce you to this amazing place. It's going to be a great time. And so yeah, Tom and Joe and Judy, is that what you said?
Melissa.
Melissa, sorry, Melissa. Um, there are 3 of, I think we're up to 36 people now who are going to be on this trip. And for everybody who's on this call that is officially signed up, don't worry, we are going to have sort of a virtual meet and greet, I think, a little bit closer to when we take off. But it's not super crucial. We'll make sure that any questions are answered before we go. And yeah, once we get there, that's going to be the main like get to know you part. Here, let's take a look and see if there are some other questions. What kind of weather should we plan on? Becky Knapp asks. Plan for everything. You know how we kind of all joke here that if you don't like the weather in Michigan, like just wait 5 minutes. It's even more true in Scotland. When we go there, we're going to be heading into the spring and technically what would be their nicer weather. I tend to try to suggest to people to look in May through August, kind of get into September. Those 2 ends of the summer, those are kind of like their drier times. But again, it's I feel like their rain can be torrential like we have, but it's more sporadic. And so, yes, it could be what they call the rainy part of the year, but it's still going to be fine. So it's Billy Connolly has this amazing bit in one of his stand-up specials that there's no such thing as bad weather in Scotland. There's only the wrong clothing, right? So for our trip, I would suggest bringing a light shell that is at least water resistant, if not waterproof, and then have some kind of like a packable down jacket underneath, maybe for those maybe the mornings where it's like a lot colder or something. You want layers. That's my main suggestion. So you want to be able to stay dry and you want to be able to stay warm. But I've also been there in November with like upper 60s, almost into the 70s. So it's totally different every year. There's no good way to plan for it. You can try and look ahead. Maybe when we get a little closer, look on your weather apps. And that's a great question. It's you do the best you can. And yeah, just make sure that you pack well and we'll hope for the best. Hey, Bev, I see you there. And Bill and Deb Noga, how many people are signed on? Oh, yep, sorry, a little late to get into that one. But yeah, so I think we're up to 36. That is not including band members. So yeah, I mean, this is amazing, especially for a group's first time. Like very, very exciting. Shelly Williams, oh, you made it. Good. Since we were coming over the day before, is there a specific place to meet you to join the trip? At the airport? Actually, that's a wonderful question. Thank you for giving us that one. So officially, I don't really have an answer because I want to double check with the tour company before I say too much. The one thing that here, Joe, I'm gonna make a little bit of room here. Okay, so I'm just gonna hide you. Okay, just so you know. Okay, you're still on the call, but yeah, we'll just hide you. Okay. Yeah. So if any of you have been on any of these Hammond tours before, like our good friends the Moxie Strings did a few over in Ireland, those we met in Dublin and then got on the bus and immediately went all the way across the country over to Galway. Ours is not going to be like that. The nice thing about ours is that we're going to land in Edinburgh and then our first day and night is right there in Edinburgh. So my instinct is saying that we're just going to gather as many people that are flying in that morning, which you just need to be there by 10 a.m. Most of those flights are probably going to show up around 8:30 is what I've been seeing. But yeah, as long as you're there by 10 so that we give people enough time to show up, then we'll get everybody on the bus, and I believe we're going to head over to the hotel. The only hesitancy I have on that is I think our bus driver, who is also going to be our tour guide for the week, is maybe going to show us around the city a little bit. So that's the only part I want to double check on. Do we collect people at the hotel that are going to be there a day early, because I know some are doing that, and then kind of do a tour around? Or do we have them meet at the airport? That's the part we're going to figure out. And so I'll email the tour company and get that out to you guys and let you know. And again, great questions. If you have any more, like, we'll be sure to go over it as we get closer to the trip too. Okay, I'll just double check. It looks like, I think that was all of the questions that I saw come in. So, I think what I'd like to do now. Oh, where are we staying in Edinburgh? Edinburgh. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Edinburgh. It was the spelling that tripped me up. The first night. Great question. I can tell you that here right now. If you go to the Hammond Tours website, and for our tour where you went to sign up, if you click on view tour PDF, that's all that I'm doing. I'm just pulling that up right now. They did a great job of listing everything and everywhere we'll be, including all of our lodging. So in Edinburgh, we're going to be at a place called the Novotel Edinburgh City Center. Sorry. And we're just going to be there for one night. I'm going to go over the itinerary here in just a second, but yeah, for that specific question, Edinburgh. Yeah. Noga, you're killing me. The most amazing spellings I've ever seen for Edinburgh. That's what you'll notice right away, is that none of the spellings over there make sense. If we have dietary restrictions, when do we let the tour company know? Amazing question. I don't think there's any like perfect time. So there's no reason that you couldn't tell them right now. You might as well get that information so they're not maybe scrambling as we get closer to it. So yeah, if you're already signed up and you do have some dietary restrictions, go ahead and just email Hammond Tours and yeah, they'll make sure they take care of you. I will say, on one of the tours I was on in Ireland, unfortunately, we did have somebody come down. Oh, this is my lovely kitten, Dilly. She's checking out the phonograph, which usually is just there for show, but it's actually making noise right now. So she's all interested in it. She and her pseudo siblings will probably make some appearances as well. So pay no attention, because I will get severely distracted. What I was saying was, we had somebody unfortunately come down with COVID, and the tour company was great. They were very good at being in communication. They were able to get him into his own hotel room, and away from everybody else. And they took great care of him, making sure that he got home safely. So if it comes to anything with personal health, do not feel like you need to hesitate to reach out to the company, and yeah, they'll take really good care of you. I just turned the volume up, so she's very interested in it. Okay, that is Dilly making a little appearance. All right, so I think I've talked your ears off here enough about a whole bunch of stuff, but why don't we get into the itinerary? Also, you guys let me know if the music is too loud or distracting or anything. Before I get into the itinerary, actually, there is a couple of tips that I wanted to go over. Some things that have come to light. Sorry, just pulling up my notes here. Okay, so one thing obviously is to make sure that your passport is up to date. So a couple of things. One, they've made it really, really easy if you need to renew your passport. You can do it all online now. There's no more needing to mail your old passport in. You can take the photo on your phone. You just want to make sure you're not wearing a hat or glasses. You have a nice solid color behind you, like even this wall would work. You can take the picture right on your phone. You do it all online, and it's a very expedited process now. It can still take up to 8 weeks though. So if you haven't done it, I really strongly encourage you to do that. Get on it so that you can get it back as soon as possible. There's also, in terms of renewing, your passport needs to be valid for 6 months at least past the date that you get back from wherever you're going, which in our case would be our trip. So take a look at your passport expiration dates. If it's going to expire within 6 months of when we return on April 19th, make sure you get this done. You're going to want to do that. Adding on to that, I would also strongly encourage that you look into a thing called global entry. You've probably heard of TSA PreCheck. This is very similar. And in fact, global entry includes TSA PreCheck. For $100, you get 5 years of basically like a fast pass when you come back from another country and you have to go through customs. And I will say, I got it and it already paid for itself. I was coming back from a tour in Spain, and on the day I was flying in, I had to get over to Holland, Michigan for the Holland Celtic Fest over there, and I had just 30 minutes to spare, and it was 100%. Everything was very tight, but it was because I had this global entry that allowed me to just kind of skip the entire line and get through. It helped out so much. I actually had a half an hour to kill, so I was able to stop here and freshen up before continuing on. I didn't sleep for like over 24 hours. It was insane, but it was a great show. Another tip, the sooner you book your flights, probably the better things are going to be for you. So, you'll want to get on that too. What I've learned is it's good to search through websites like Kayak to get really good deals sometimes, but you'll want to book, which we all learned from the, sorry, I got a funny question here. What do I have to do to confirm that I get to pet or curly coo? You just got to be on the bus. I can't promise anything, but I do know of some places that we'll be stopping at that traditionally have had Highland cows, which you see right up here. I'm a little obsessed with them, in case you couldn't tell. But oh shoot, I just lost signal there. Here, hold on. Shoot, why did I do that? Is the live stream still going? Okay. Can you see me?
It's delayed, so
Okay.
I don't know. Oh,
Okay.
everybody's still on.
Okay. I don't know why it did that. Okay. So hopefully it looks like everything's still going. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Yay. Yes. Yes. We do get to see some Highland cows, I'm sure, at some point. Mike, our drummer, that was probably his favorite part. And it kind of turned into this game of how many coos can we find for Mike? They also call them Heelan coos or hairy coos. So yeah, you'll see plenty of those, I'm sure. I was saying, shoot, what was I saying before that? Oh, about flights. What we learned from the pandemic is it's probably a much safer bet to book straight through the airlines as long as you can find that same deal that you find on like the Expedias and the Kayaks out there. There was also something else. I'll have to come back to this, but that Adam, our penny whistle player, brought to my attention. There's this new thing that, and I'm sure the tour company is aware of this and will make sure that everybody's done it. But I think it's like we have to pay $12 or $15, and it's like a oh shoot, I'm blanking on the word. It's a different type of visa. Now it just starts this new year. It used to be the American citizens. We just got to go in automatically, didn't have to fill out any paperwork or anything. But there is a new thing, and I'm forgetting the acronym right now. But we'll make sure that everybody is up to date on that. So yeah, just kind of be on the lookout for that. Okay, I promise we'll get into the itinerary here. So what I'm going to do, let's see if this, whoops. Sorry. Here, passport check. All right, Brenda. Awesome. We're just going to reboot my little presentation here. So this is a repurposed version of the presentation that I actually gave the band. I was able to cut about half of the slides out of this. Electronic travel authorization. Thank you, Kevin Spence. Yes, that is exactly it, an ETA. So if you guys want to go ahead and look into that on your own, again, it's the electronic travel authorization. You want to make sure that you look into that and make sure you're up to date on it. Okay, so we're going to pop through this. I'm going to try and go as expeditiously as possible, but basically going to go through kind of what to expect. And if you've joined our emailing list, you've probably seen a lot of these pictures and heard a lot about all this. But so I'm just going to go into a little bit more depth and detail here. So I love this picture because this is the kind of bus we're gonna have, guys. They're very nice, big coaches where all the luggage goes underneath. Depending on how big it is, there might even be a bathroom on it. But they're very good. Also, the drivers are amazing. This is what they do all the time, so they're very comfortable on it. I will say, everywhere that we go, I'm pretty sure will not have single track roads and like next to cliffs like they do in Ireland. So you're already making a much better choice by coming to Scotland with us. Tom Williams says electronic travel authorization, easy to do. It took just a few minutes. Cost yesterday was $13.16. So there you go. It's perfect. And we'll make sure that everybody is aware of that so nobody gets left in the dust. So our first day, we're going to land in Edinburgh. And like I said, you just got to make sure that you're there by 10 a.m. and then we'll collect everybody. The first day is going to be weird. If you haven't traveled that far overseas before, the jet lag is real. There's not a whole lot you can do to get around it. I try to trick myself into thinking that I can put myself into the time zone a week or two ahead of time and that it makes for an easier flight for me, but who knows if that actually works. Most of these transatlantic flights are very easy. They'll have a nice dinner service. Also, keep in mind, you're going to most likely leave Friday night. Okay, so that'd be the 11th, and you're going to fly overnight to get to Edinburgh on the 12th in the morning. And they're, depending on the time of year, 4 to 5 hours. I think there'll be about 5 hours difference from us. So you're going to lose those 5 hours. It's not going to be the best sleep of your life. Try to get up, try to hydrate when you're on the plane, and do whatever you can. Don't watch too many movies, as tempting as it is, because once we get here, it's going to be a pretty laid back day. But we only have one day in Edinburgh, so we want you to make sure that you make the most of it. Let's see what the next picture is. There we go. Oh, okay. So there's all kinds of attractions that you can do. One of the best things that I love about this tour is that they've given everybody the Explorer Pass. The Explorer Pass gets you into different sightseeing places all over the country. And I think I calculated that if you see at least 3 on that list, it will have paid for itself. And which then, for our purposes, we're going to see quite a bit through it. So with the Explorer Pass, for example, that gets you into Edinburgh Castle. I'll come up to that in a second. What you're seeing here on the screen, this is it's called Arthur's Seat, and so that's not my photo, but it does have absolute gorgeous views. This one should be my photo. It was one of the first things that we did with the band. Once we got settled into the hotel, I made them keep walking, and I said, "Oh, we just have a small hike. Don't worry, it'll be fine." This ended up being a trend on that trip where Steve severely misinterpreted just how intense some of his hikes were going to be for the band, but they still love me for some reason. So this is us on top of Arthur's Seat. It just gives some of the most amazing views of the city. So when we have free time, I would recommend checking it out as long as the weather isn't too bad. Yeah, this is Edinburgh Castle. And we'll just kind of blaze through. I just want you guys to have a chance to see some of the stuff. So these are some of the attractions just up at the castle. The 1 o'clock gun goes off at 1 o'clock. It's for all the ships in the harbor. Let them sync up. Margaret's Chapel right there. Very, very old. I mean, kings and queens of yore, prayed in here. Mons Meg, one of the biggest guns in the world ever made. The Stone of Destiny, also known as the Stone of Scone. So this is really, really cool. It's with the honors of Scotland, also known as the Crown Jewels. This was a stone that the ancient kings that they would hold their coronations on top of this thing. And funny enough, like in the 1200s, I think, King Edward from England invaded, stole the stone, and took it back to Westminster and put it underneath the English throne, and it stayed there until 1996. It was 1990 something. I'm pretty sure it was 1996. But I mean, are you kidding me? Really? Like, it took that long for Scotland to get it back. Next picture, I believe, is going to be, of the Crown Jewels. So that's all part of the tour on in the castle. Definitely recommend checking those out. Oh yeah. Some of the things that you can do. I mean, there's just so much. Edinburgh is the capital city, and there's all kinds of things going on. There's a lot of Harry Potter sites for all the Harry Potter fans that you'll want to check out. Greyfriars Bobby, great story about a little dog. Calton Hill, another great vantage point. And there's other tours that you can join on your own. There will always be some free time for you guys, to go and do your own thing. And then it's a good balance between that and the structured stuff that the tour has put together for us. This, hopefully you guys can see this. This is a map of Edinburgh. So you have the castle right up here, and then you have the palace down here. The palace is where the monarch of the UK actually resides. They don't live in the castle anymore. It's a tourist attraction. But this road going right down the middle, that is called the Royal Mile. And so that's like one of the main hubs. That's the area you're going to want to check out. They have some amazing things going on, including like some of the world's best buskers or street performers. They're professional street performers. So you're going to see magic shows. You're going to see some of the best musicians around, and then all the souvenir shops you can imagine. Let's see. I think the next picture is just another version of it, but so it just kind of, it gives you another view. Let's see. What else do we have? Yep, Royal Mile. So that's what it looks like, and we can just march up and down this all day. It's in a part called Old Town of the city, and so lots of souvenir shopping. We will visit Edinburgh on our way back. So if you don't want to carry stuff around, you might want to just scope out things that you like, and then go back and check it out. Harry Potter sites for all you Potterheads. These are some of the big ones. Obviously, the Elephant House Cafe. That's where J.K. Rowling was when she created Harry Potter, and she was looking through the window at Edinburgh Castle, and that was when she started daydreaming and designing what Hogwarts was going to look like. It's usually a pretty long line to get in there, and I will tell you, if you just go on to the next street, just below the window that she sat at, you can see it in like 5 seconds and see the exact same view. The Greyfriar Kirkyard, the graves of Tom Riddle and William McGonagall, where she would take her breaks and walk through to look for names. Victoria Street is what some people, it's nice and curvy. You may have seen pictures of it with all these colorful buildings. They say it's where she got the idea from Diagon Alley. That has been debunked, but it's still a very fun place to see, and there's lots of Harry Potter attractions there. Anyway. Lots and lots of sites to see, but I don't want to take up too much time here. Greyfriars Bobby, great little story. If you want to Google that, it's a story about this dog who laid on the grave of his owner, one of the chefs in the restaurants here, after he died and refused to leave his post. And so you go up and touch his nose for good luck. Calton Hill, another point in the city, great vantage points, lots of monuments. You get some of your best photos from right there because you can see the castle and everything else. Okay, so that's kind of the free day portion of our first day there. And then we're going to end it with something called the Scottish Evening Dinner, I think is what it's called. This is going to be like your ultimate introduction to Scotland. Like, welcome to Scotland. Here's our culture. Like that whole thing. And so there's going to be haggis. There's going to be a dinner and a show, basically. So they're going to play some music, I believe. They're going to have the address to the haggis, which if you don't know what that is, you're in for a real treat. And it's just going to be a really nice welcome, and you'll get like a pretty good idea of the culture right there. So that's day one. Day two, we get right back on the bus. And that's honestly the only number one rule. Just make sure you're on the bus on time for the entire trip. Okay. That's all you got to worry about. When we get over to Glasgow, I will admit, I don't know as much about Glasgow as the other places that we're going to. Okay. But they do have some really great things to see. It is the largest city in Scotland. And so what you're seeing right here, these are pictures of Glasgow Cathedral. We will be stopping there. Then we're going to have some free time. And some of the things you might want to see is to go to the West End, a very trendy section of the city. You could explore the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery Museum. They're very, very famous for their museums and music venues. They have a Salvador Dali Christ of St. John on the Cross there that you could see. We have George Square, the Riverside Museum, Ashton Lane, Buchanan Street, and that's like a shopper's paradise, Buchanan Street. So if you want to do some real serious shopping, this is definitely the place you're going to want to check out. Moving on. Glasgow is one of the places that we're trying to shore up a show there. So this will possibly, very possibly, be our first CrossBow performance of the tour. We'll be there. On the next day, we're taking off up to Inverness, and we're going to have a lot of stops on the way. So this is going to be a big travel day, but you're going to see a lot of the countryside. It's going to be a lot of fun. So this is Loch Lomond that you're looking at right here, and there's a great story along with that. Here we go. So there's a song, a very, very famous song by the name of Loch Lomond, and it reflects the tragic story of Robert King, a Jacobite soldier, and his wife Janet. So following the Battle of Culloden, Robert was captured, and he was 73 years old. But of course, he volunteered his own execution in exchange for the freedom of one of his younger fellow prisoners. This young Jacobite whom Robert saved, he took the high road. These are all lyrics from the song. So he took the high road, that is, he walked home over the mountains, and Robert took the low road, the Celtic route for the souls of the dead en route to their homeland. But Robert was in Scotland, aka in spirit, of Forye, which means before the younger man reached home. But me and my true love, meaning Janet, would never meet again on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. So yeah, it's just an amazing place, and I think you guys will love that. Let me see here. Sorry, I know this thing kind of is taking a second to. There we go. So these are just some of the sites we're going to see, because we're going to drive up through Glencoe and up the shores of Loch Ness as well. So this is called Logangarve Hut. Very picturesque little thing. It's whenever you see pictures of Scotland, that seems to be always included. Oh my gosh, come on. Work with me, technology. There we go. The Three Sisters of Glencoe, we will definitely stop here, weather permitting. It's also the site of the Glencoe Massacre, or very nearby. For any of you Game of Thrones fans, the infamous Red Wedding was, we believe, loosely based off of this very real massacre. So we'll be sure to talk about that as we're going through. Just a terribly tragic story. We'll be stopping for lunch in Fort William. What you're seeing in the background here is Ben Nevis. It's the UK's tallest mountain. I actually did hike this, and I think I did it in about 6 hours, and I will say it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, mostly because I did zero training. I just thought, oh, I'm just walking, right? But yeah, so we'll drive past that, and as long as it's not too cloudy, we might actually see the peak. Let's see. All right. Oh, here we go. So this is when we will stop at Loch Ness, and we'll do a little Nessie hunting for the Loch Ness Monster. And these are some of the ruins that we should be able to get into also with our Explorer Pass. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Everybody hanging in there okay? Oh, this is a picture of Sky, Kyle Locken. That one might be out of order. No, it's not. Okay. So sorry. That's that is the end of that day. Yeah, you're good. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you. So day 4, we're going to, so that night we'll land in Inverness. Now Inverness is going to become our kind of base camp for the next day or two. Inverness is kind of like the unofficial capital of the Highlands. It's right up there in the middle of it. So we're going to be in some beautiful country. Now on our 4th day, we're going to have 2 options. Option 1 is you can take an all-day bus ride to the Isle of Skye. So any of you Outlander fans, I'd say this is an absolute must. So much of that story comes from Skye. It happens on Skye. And so yeah, this would be definitely a great one to see. If you've maybe been to Scotland and already seen Skye, or you're just needing a break from the bus, you can just stay in Inverness and explore the city that way. We are planning on having a show that evening. So those of you who go out to Isle of Skye, don't worry, you will be back. We made sure that we had time for this. And so we're going to have dinner when we get back as a group, and then we'll go to the show again. I don't have any information for you just yet, because we're still talking to a couple of venues on where that show will actually be, but we're getting very close with it. So that's kind of exciting. So these next few pictures you're going to see are from Skye. This is called the Kirang. This has been, oh, Xander, I can personally recommend Skye, one of the best islands. Guys, if you haven't heard of Xander yet, you will. Okay, this little guy has just been cooking. Sorry, he's not that little. He's like 18 now. But so we met Xander back in 22. His band opened for us when we did that benefit concert for the Clan McPherson Museum, and it just blew us away. And the best part was we stayed in touch with them. And then Xander actually came over to the States. Hi, Tammy. He came over to the States, not this past summer, the one before. So I guess I was 23, and he played at the Detroit Highland Games with us, and it was awesome. He and his folks came over, and we gave him a whole tour of Michigan. They started in Chicago. We took him to Grand Rapids and Ann Arbor, and then finished it with a show. We brought him up on stage. So we did McPherson's with us, like he did back in Scotland. But then I challenged him to learn our closer, Incredibo, and he did a great job. He was practicing, and he and I, had a little workshop here, and we went over. I made sure he was good, and I said, "Don't worry, the recording is really fast. We're not going to go faster than that, or even that fast, probably." And wouldn't you know it, the 2 days that he played with us, we were both of those short on time, so that we went the fastest I think we'd ever gone. He was not happy with us, but hey, he hung in there, and then he got into music school. So I'm not saying that we, helped him, guarantee that by maybe almost breaking him, but yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of credit. Sorry, Xander. But yeah, Xander will also probably be making some appearances on the trip. So biggest lie I was ever told. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I know. But we'll make it up to you, okay? We'll bring you back up on stage, and you can do the same to us. This is Melt Falls and Kilt Rock, another great stop on the Isle of Skye. There's a closer look at Kilt Rock because it looks like a kilt. And then I think, yeah, this is called the Old Man of Store. Again, this is all, within an hour of each other, just driving around in a big loop on the island. This island has been used in all kinds of films, especially, I think it was Transformers and the Highlander series. This castle, Aelin Donan Castle, was definitely in the Highlander film. So any of you movie buffs, you might recognize that. Here's just a nice picture of Inverness. So yeah, for those of you who maybe are a little travel weary and want to just hang out in the city, or city touring is more your thing, this is a great city. Lots to do, lots to check out. Okay, so then moving on to the next day, we're going to go to a very special place. Again, any of you Outlander fans will recognize this immediately. This is called the Battlefield of Culloden. It's on Culloden Moor. Hugely important. If any of you have Scottish ancestry, you probably exist and here in the States because your ancestors were part of the Jacobite Rebellion of 1745. It was a very short-lived campaign, only about a year, and it was a lot of people think it was Scotland versus England. It was not part of their wars for independence. It was warring factions, I guess. I'm not saying this right, but it was basically it was more of a religious battle. It was the Protestants who were on the throne at the time versus the Jacobites who were aligned with the Stuart kings, the original bloodline, and they were Catholics, and they had been ousted for a generation or two, and so they were trying to restore the Stuarts back to the throne as they saw them as the rightful monarchs. Well, it was actually going kind of well for the Jacobites until this day, the 16th of April, 1746. Everything that could go wrong absolutely did. And here is another guess. Yeah, can you get him? Thank you. This is my cat, Glenn Fiddick, whose ears you just saw for a second. But yeah, he'll probably make another appearance because he loves the spotlight almost as much as I do. He's definitely my cat. Yeah, so it was an absolute massacre. Like I said, everything that could go wrong just about did. And I mean, it was maybe 100 into the hundreds of the British troops that died, and it was thousands of Jacobites. And then it didn't stop there. Afterwards, the British army attempted to completely eradicate the Scots and anyone who could have had anything to do with this rebellion. They wanted to make sure it never happened again. It was really, really tragic. And you have what was called the clearances, and that was where they tried to just displace people. Anyone that had been involved, they were usually put into indentured servitude. If not flat out just into jail or executed on site. So a lot of them as prisoners ended up in the colonies to to try and serve out their sentences. But yeah, so if you're here in the States with Scottish ancestry, there's a very good chance that your ancestors were forced out and because of this battle. And yes, Linda, exactly. We're going to be there on the actual anniversary. I've been there a couple times myself, and I'll say it's kind of like visiting Arlington. Like, you just feel this immense weight and the importance of the history. And it's a very beautiful but sad place. Like, you just feel this overwhelming sadness. I have seen video. They have these flags along the two lines of where the lines of the armies were before they clashed. And so you can see the distance that the Highlanders had to sprint to get there, and they just got mowed down by the muskets and cannon fire. But there's this video of like fog, like a line of fog on a bright sunny day just coming in from the blue flags of the Scots. It's amazing. It's kind of creepy, but yeah, we love it. Sorry, I should have been going through some more of these photos. So yeah, again, hopefully, weather pending, it'll be a great stop for us. Let's see. Oh yeah, and there's the famous battle scene from the Outlander show. I mean, one of the more accurate things I've seen. They have an amazing visitor center here too, and they have like this 360 TV room. I'm a big sound design nerd, and some of the best sounds I've ever heard. Where now that's the closest I've ever gotten to understanding what a real battle might be like. After we're done at Culloden, very special stop for us. We're going to stop in Newtonmore, where the Clan McPherson Museum is. So we're going to go visit our friends over there. And yes, guys, we're going to see the broken fiddle of the story that we talk about. Robin Hood of his time, Jamie McPherson's broken fiddle. It's right there on display. So hopefully we'll have a good chance to stop there and get a little story on it. But they have so many artifacts from all throughout the McPherson history. So it'll be a great stop too. And just to give you guys sort of like firsthand exposure to some of these things. On our way down, we're going to stop here. This is Scone Palace, I'm pretty sure, not Scone. This used to be the capital of Scotland. This is where the ancient kings, this is where they were coronated. So we're going to stop here for a little afternoon tea. Let's see, do I have? Okay. Before we end in my all-time favorite city in the entire country, Stirling. I mean, just look at it. It's beautiful. This is where I did my study abroad way back in 2015. I don't care for how long ago that was. But it was where I finished my college career, actually, and really kind of found myself here. I mean, this place was amazing. And just gorgeous. So you're looking at off in the distance is the main part of the city. The tower that you see on the left there, that is the National Wallace Monument. And so if you can get yourself there and we have time, you can. Scone indeed is right. That's only 5 minutes away from me and my folks. Awesome. Thank you, Xander. Appreciate that. Oh, that's right. I forgot you moved. Awesome. Yeah, so this, if you can get up to the base of this monument here for free. You do have to pay to go up the stairs in it, but they have William Wallace's sword hanging up there. So if any of you Braveheart fans, this is where the story of Braveheart happened. The movie is incredibly historically inaccurate. Mel Gibson really took like every single liberty he could. In fact, one of the best parts is, the famous scene at the very end where he's given his big speech and he says, like, oh yeah, I heard William Wallace is 9 feet tall and then he could shoot lightning out his arse. Right. That line came from when he was doing research in Stirling. They told him, oh, you got to go up to the castle. There's a tour guide up there that knows absolutely everything about William Wallace. So he introduces himself, says, I'm going to be writing, directing, starring, producing in this film about William Wallace. The guy looks him up and down and goes, you couldn't be William Wallace if you could shoot lightning out your arse. He thought that was the greatest thing. So he added it to the film. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to see William Wallace's sword, massive weaponry. It's up in the top there. Got just a few more pictures here for you guys, and then we'll check in with you. This is Sterling Castle. Again, another thing that we get free entry into with the Explorer Pass. My honest opinion, especially since COVID, this is a better castle tour than the Edinburgh one. I feel like this one just has a lot more to offer. It's just very, very cool. So if you have time, hopefully you'll want to check that out. And again, guys, everything that we're doing, if you ever want to opt out, you do not have to participate in absolutely everything that we do as a group. You know, if you're not feeling well or you're just tired of looking at old buildings, that's totally fine. There will always be something for you to do. This is Dumayet, another small, short hike. I told the band that would be more than manageable. I also told them that it was going to be freezing up at the top because that has been my experience. Like a 20, 30 degree difference. And it was the hottest day I've ever experienced in Scotland. And we were all sweating and we did not bring enough water, but we have so many great memories, right, guys? And so, again, any Outlander fans, you've seen this in the background of shots quite a bit. I will probably be hiking this. It's kind of one of my traditions whenever I'm in Stirling, to get up to the top. There's a nice little car park that can make it either a half an hour kind of hike, or it can be a 5-hour hike if you want to start all the way at the bottom, go up to the top and come back. So we're almost there. Just a couple more things. Oh yeah, this is Stirling University. It's right at the base of that giant hill we were just looking at. This is where I went to school. Beautiful, beautiful campus if you want to find yourself over in that area. Okay, so that'll be the end of our day in Stirling. I am still trying to get us a show there in Stirling because that would be an absolute dream come true. So the idea is that we'll get a show, and then we have this very good friend of the band by the name of Ian Reed, and he drove us around, and we kind of owe him big time because he put up with so many shenanigans from us, and he's just an amazing guy. You will see him on the tour. He's going to be helping out and transporting gear, and yeah, he will also be opening up his pub that he co-owns. It's in kind of like a tiny little village just off to the side of Stirling, like they basically touch. It's an amazing place. I think that was the band's favorite part, honestly, of the entire tour that we did, was like that last night. We were just sort of celebrating the trip, and we kind of took over this pub. It's not huge. It's very cozy, and it'll give you the true authentic feel of like a good Scottish pub. So that's our idea. Even if we don't get a show in Stirling, maybe we'll do like a little acoustic set there, you know, or just a session kind of thing. Very laid back, but that will be our group's opportunity to celebrate the end of the tour. So when we wake up the next morning, we just have a couple of stops on our way back to Edinburgh. So we're going to stop at this statue here. It's called the Kelpies. You'll learn all about those, part of Scottish lore, but also they used horses quite a bit in these canals in the area to move things along. We're also going to stop. Oh, by the way, Sláinte, everybody, drinking a little Boonhaven here with you. We're just going to stop here at, this is called the Falkirk Wheel. Modern engineering at its finest. I don't want to spoil it too much. It's pretty cool. If you want to look it up, you can get an idea of what it does, but that's kind of like a giant aqueduct sort of thing up there, and it takes these barges and rotates them down to the water below. Very, very cool. Yeah, we'll end up back in Edinburgh that night. I don't know exactly what time we're going to get there just yet, but this will be a great opportunity for you. If there was something you really liked and you want to see it again, if there was something you didn't have time for, maybe this will be your opportunity. We're just making sure that everybody gets to be in the city because it's going to be early morning flights back home the next day. So we just want to make sure that we end there and are able to get you guys back on the road. So I think that should be the last slide. Yep. And that's when we say goodbye to Scotland. So I know that was a lot. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to put this back up. Yeah, let's go back, come back in here. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I know that's a lot. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of what it's going to look like for those of you who are going on the trip. So you get more of an idea. And those of you who might even still be on the fence, this is what you're going to be missing out on. So we really want you to come with us. We've already got a stellar group. Some people that I met on the Ireland tours with the Moxie strings. Some people I have not met yet. So, or maybe I have. I feel really bad now that I just said that. But very much looking forward to getting to know you. What I love about these tours is that, I mean, it's a small family, but it's a great group size. And all of your breakfasts are taken care of through the hotels. I think about half of the dinners are also going to be provided. We leave the lunches open and available for you guys to handle however you want, because you're going to make friends on this trip and you guys will want to go and explore different things together. So yeah, that'll be like a great opportunity for that. There's a pretty good balance of free time versus structured time, like I mentioned earlier. And all the hotels that we stay in, like I've checked them all out. They look very nice. The ones that I've stayed in on the Ireland tours have all been great. And of course, if at any point you guys have issues on the trip, you're more than welcome to come and pull any of us aside from the band. We'll be in constant contact with the tour company. So if there's something wrong with your room even or whatever, trying to think, yeah, if there's anything else, we will have a nice little meet and greet at the very beginning for just everybody to get to know each other, hang out with everybody, figure out what their story is. You'll be with us too the whole time, and we'll have a couple of shows here and there. It's going to be so great. So yeah, I think I'll just take a break from talking here for a second and just give you guys an opportunity. If you have questions, if you want to join the call, you can, like Joe did earlier. So if you just click on this link, sorry, you can't click on it, I guess, but if you copy this link somehow or type it in on your computer, on your phone, you can join the call and talk to me live right now if you want, or if you want to just post a comment or a question in the chat, please feel free to do that. I'm here to answer any. I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit, and I wanna talk to you guys. See if I can help out in any way, or even if it's just convincing you to come and join us on the trip. I can't speak highly enough. I know I said I was gonna stop talking, and here I am. How great and fun these trips are. So yeah, I did one in 2019 and one in 22 with the Moxie strings in Ireland. And it's just such a great way to experience the country, especially if you've been wanting to go and you happen to like music. It's a great way, and you like our music for some reason. It's a great way to see see us doing what we love doing, but like in one of the coolest venues we'll ever be in. Here we go, Kevin Spence. Any chance we can make a quick stop in Linlithgow, small town between Falkirk and Edinburgh, on the way back to Edinburgh on day 7? Yes, I'm actually very familiar with Linlithgow. That was where Mary, Queen of Scots, was born. I can trace my paternal ancestry back to 1634 to this small town. Wow, very cool. So honestly, I don't know. I think that'll kind of depend on what the bus driver says too, on what our schedule will be that day. That is definitely something we can look into. We don't have anything scheduled for it, so it's not like there's a space card for it, and so we wouldn't have, like, as far as I know, we wouldn't have like a touristy thing to go look at. However, when you're in Stirling, when you have a free day, or when we're in Edinburgh, if you're willing to try it, I will say the public transportation, meaning the trains mostly, are so much better than anything we have here. Very easy to navigate. And I mean, that's all I did the first 4 trips that I made over there. I just totally, because I did not want to drive until the last time I went. I did survive, but it was crazy. But yeah, I would seriously look into that too, just in case we're not able to fit it into like the big group schedule. It's very easy to get to these areas, and there is a stop between Stirling and Edinburgh, a train stop that is very manageable, easy to do. Also, the best part about that city, the reason why I like it so much is my mom's name is Lynn Lesko, but with a Scottish accent. When they say the stop Linlithgow is coming up, it just sounds like they're saying her name with a Scottish lisp. Like, the next stop is Linlithgow. So it's actually more of a British kind of sound, even though it's ScotRail. But yeah, that's my family's like favorite thing traveling over there, is like, the next stop is Linlithgow. She goes, stop it, it's not funny. Great question, Kev. Thanks for that. Xander, if you're still awake, number one is past your bedtime. Number two, you got anything chipper to say? Any digs you want to get in? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're still going strong here. I do want to take an opportunity and just say thank you guys so much for actually showing up and listening to all of this. I didn't know if anybody was going to want to hear any of this, but happy to get as many questions answered and get all this information out as much as I can. Here we go. I am still here, says Xander. Just past 1 a.m. I'll have a think of anything interesting. Yeah, you best. Yeah, miss you, buddy. And say hi to your folks for us. Let's see. Anybody got something that they're really excited for on the trip, or anything they're really looking forward to? Or we can totally change tack and ask you what you guys are up to for the holidays. Anybody traveling really far, or got a crazy cool tradition that they do? Again, if you want to ask a question, all you have to do is comment in the whatever, in the comment section of whichever platform you're looking on. Sarah Johnson, this will be my first time abroad. Super stoked. Any tips, tricks, or insight on currency? Ooh, very good question. Yeah, actually, there's a couple of things. Sorry if the music is too loud. So yeah, obviously they use the British pound, and if you watch Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson cannot believe that they will not accept the American dollar. No, they will not. It's kind of interesting because they have several different banks. Remember, the United Kingdom is actually 4 countries put together, right? England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So you will see banknotes. If you get paper money, you will see banknotes from different banks, meaning, so like there's the Bank of England, there will be the Bank of Scotland. And when we're in Scotland, the way it should be and the way they handle it is if you pay with any one of those, it doesn't matter what country you're in, you'll be fine. Some places in England might turn their noses up. Sorry if anybody's English and watching this. No offense, but it's true. That is what happens. Here's the next thing though. Paper money, you're probably not even going to need it. If you want to get some, I'd say maybe get like 100 pounds at most, just to start with. So you have something, maybe even 50 quid is also what they call it, would be fine. Everything, especially since COVID, but even before then, they're really far ahead of us. Like they had chip cards 5 years or something before we even did. So that was really frustrating for me to come back after my study abroad. And like, I got so used to that, and then they didn't have it. And contactless cards, they had that before we did. So that's one of the great things is you can pay for everything, even with your, there's a cat trying to crash the live stream here. You can pay with your phone, contactless, Apple Pay or Google Pay, or just with your cards and all that. Also, tipping is not even close to the same as our tipping culture here. I'm going to suggest that you just look into that on your own. I can try to explain it. You really only tip if it's like truly exceptional service at like a restaurant. Okay. They're not expecting it. They will be very appreciative of it, but it's just not the same here. I mean, they just get paid better and, in different ways. So maybe not better. Maybe I shouldn't speak on that, but so yeah, that's something to kind of look out for. The last couple times I've been there, I have not used cash at all. So another thing you might want to do if you don't have one already is to have a credit card that does not have international transaction fees. It's maybe not a ton unless you're spending a lot, but if like you're just mostly spending on food and a couple of souvenirs here and there, it's usually like 3% added on top, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it might just be a little easier for you. I use the Capital One Quicksilver card. And I only use that for when I travel abroad, mostly just because I do get points for it. But yeah, it's just so that I don't have to deal with international transaction fees. Also, what you see as the price is what you're going to pay in Scotland, because they don't have the tax system that we do. So, they have something called Poundland, Poundland, which is like their dollar store. And if it says a pound, it's going to be a pound. And almost everything is truly like a pound. But yeah, no, great question, Sarah. So the other thing, really important, do not, if you're going to get cash, do not worry about getting it from your bank like ahead of time. That's a very archaic way. And definitely don't exchange money at the airport unless you want to pay even more. Okay. So if you want to get cash, I would say just wait until we're in like the Edinburgh City Center and go to an ATM. As long as, your card, is able to do that, and let your banks know before you go abroad. You can pull out that cash and then you'll have it, whatever. And then just make sure that you exchange it before you get back. Because then it will just be a whole hassle once you're over here. You can do it in the airport. I usually do that before I leave. If I have cash, sometimes I'll carry coins with me for like 5-6 years until the next time I go back. Right. And then I will finally exchange, because they have a lot of coinage, a lot more than we do, especially for the single pound. And those are really cool. They look like little pirate gold coins. And so if you do break actual banknotes, at a pub or something, then you're going to have like coins just jangling around your pocket, like we did back in the 90s. Xander says, on the back of that question, only some restaurants and such will accept Amex. Ooh, good point. I think that's one you use in the USA. So just be wary if you have that. Yes. That has become a big thing over the years. American Express. I think also like here in the States, because there's like such a high fee. So a lot of places don't accept that card, mostly just because, there's like an additional fee that they have to deal with. Michael Norton, they will take our credit cards. Yeah, they absolutely will. Like I said, I've used the Quicksilver, Capital One Quicksilver card. That's been my go-to. I've used my Bank of America card. I've used my PNC card even. If something doesn't work, and if it's good to have options, I would say. Yeah, bring a couple cards just in case. But yeah, I've used debit cards, credit cards. It should all work. Great question, Michael. Brenda Kinsey, looking forward to sightseeing and hearing your music. We've been to Ireland and looking forward to exploring Ireland. I think you meant Scotland. That's okay. I'm not bitter or anything. Just going to enjoy my nice, good Scotch, single malt Scotch whiskey. None of that Irish stuff. Anyway, I had a good friend once explain it to me as Scotland is like Ireland's sexier older cousin. Only comes to visit maybe in the summer or something. But so Ireland has an amazing tourism industry. I love Ireland. I've been several times. I definitely am a little more biased towards Scotland. At least for me, I just feel like it has a little bit more to offer. So yeah, I'm really excited for you guys to check it out. And yeah, for you, Brenda, especially to see what you think now that you've been to Ireland a couple times, or at least once. I would love to hear what you think after you've experienced both. Xander, and nothing more than 10% tipping is needed too. Boom. There you go. So, I mean, yeah, it does come off as like just a little excessive. I feel like, when I was first like getting out of high school, like when I was actually starting to spend money, I felt like around that time, like 15% was good. And nowadays it's like, you got to do at least 20, right? Like sometimes they have it on there, and 18 is like the minimum that they suggest. But yeah, 10%, anything above that, you don't even have to worry about. So, and again, this is only if you want to tip. They're not expecting it, kind of thing. And I think the only places you might tip would be definitely like in a food service sort of thing. Maybe in a cab and taxi. Sorry, Scotland, says Brenda. Don't worry. I got you, Brenda. I knew what you meant. Yeah. These are great questions, guys. No, I really appreciate it because I love talking about Scotland and just travel in general. So this is so much fun for me. I mean, as you can see, I mean, like I put together a whole fire. Like I made sure you have no idea how long I planned just this exact shot, because this has been like a dream for me to actually get to do this. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Would love to answer some more questions if you guys got them. I guess I can like pull these out a little bit since nobody's joining. But yeah, and again, just a reminder, if you want to join on the video call, feel free. You got the link right here, so you can check that out. Check that out. Oh yeah, bud, just check that out right there. Are we going to Scotland or New Scotland? You have a venue for Glasgow Direction lined up yet, says Xander. No, actually. Have not gotten around to Glasgow just yet. So, Xander, if you've actually, yeah, I would definitely trust your judgment on that. If you have some suggestions, definitely we're looking into it. In Sterling, I know we're thinking about the toll booth. Thing is, I have been in there and I'm a little afraid that it might be like too big. Like it's a great theater that they have in there. I don't know if they would have a space for us, is I guess what I'm getting at. The Xander, just so you know, the kind of vibe that we're looking for would be like in Inverness, if you've heard of the Hoot Nanny or just Hoot Nanny, I think they call it. Amazing venue, and I guess it's where like bands like Scaryvore cut their teeth. We need like good size stages for sure. We can't, just be shoved into a corner. And hopefully they would have a built-in sound system. That's kind of the ideal place, but kind of like that. It's not really a pub and it's not really a theater, but it's like somewhere right in between. That's kind of the ideal. I've seen a lot of these tours work really well there. Shelly Williams, do cabbies take cards? Yes, I believe so. Xander, maybe you can chime in on that. I think they do now. I have been in situations where I needed, like on the bus, like I had to pay cash for on the bus most of the time. But I don't know, maybe they've come up with the times and with the technology. Hello, late to the party. Yes, you are, Carla Freeland. Hey, did you and Doc officially sign up? I know he was texting me about it, but I didn't know for sure. But yeah, welcome. I mean, you just missed an hour and 18 minutes worth of me blabbing about it, but happy to have you. This is, by the way, all going to be posted afterwards, as long as I do this right. So if you did miss anything or you want to go back and revisit something that I said or show it to somebody later, try and get them to join with you. This should be posted on our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, hopefully, so you can revisit it. Michael Norton, electrical outlets are different than USA, but are they the same as Ireland? Ooh, that's a great question. They are not. The UK has its own thing because Ireland is part of the EU. That's what they use. Wait. Actually, hold on. Am I wrong on that? I might be. Sarah, can you Jake, can you pull that up real quick? If you could double check on that, just see. I know what the UK uses for sure, but maybe Ireland uses the European Union one. Anyway, so since we're not going to Ireland, doesn't matter. The UK one. This is actually really important. Here we go. Yeah, they will. Contactless works. We do also have Uber here in more of the bigger cities. That's fantastic. But cash is also accepted, often preferred. No tax then, but card is great in all shops pretty much, says Xander. Thank you, Xander, for that. Yeah, okay, so with the power, theirs is twice as strong as ours. So there's a couple of things. Like you'll notice there are no electrical outlets in their bathrooms because it's twice as much electricity as what we have. So the only thing that they would have that kind of looks like ours would be for men's shavers, electronic shavers. But if you bring a shaver, guys, Scotland, Ireland use Type G outlets. Okay, so they're the same. Do not plug to charge your electric razors in that outlet. It will zap it. This happened to me and it sucked. And I took forever to get a new razor. So I grew something that resembled a beard, but it was nasty. It was shaggy. But yeah, so you can get converters, you can get adapters. Okay. Those are two different things. Most of you will only need an adapter. So anything like if you bring a laptop, an iPad, your phone, those all have now the technology to like they're not going to get fried. They will convert themselves. So you just need an adapter for that. Also goes for any ladies wanting to bring like a hair dryer or a hair straightener, curler, whatever. Again, for those things, what you want to do is just check. It should say, in like sometimes it's like embossed on the device, like it'll say whether it's compatible or not, what it can handle. Is it the 120 and the 240 voltage, or is it just the 120? You want to double check on all your devices just to be safe. If you buy a converter, that will then have the correct plug to go in, but it will convert down to the proper ampage or volts. voltage for our devices. You definitely don't want to risk it. So just do a little research on it. But I mean, I have both. Like if I'm just charging my phone, I just have an adapter because that can just, sorry, just change the song there. That can just plug right into the wall and it'll be fine. If it's something a little more sensitive, like a hair dryer or something, then you would want like maybe a true converter for that. For our electronic gear for our shows. Sorry, this is when they're in the Palace of Versailles. We don't need that. Not into Paris. We're into the second season here now, apparently. Yeah, you would want a converter just to make sure that all of your stuff is safe. But again, like you're traveling, like unless you really need it, I would say to maybe think about just leaving some of the bigger stuff at home. Carla says, not yet. Waiting for the bookkeeper to book our flights. Gotcha. No worries. Yeah, well, good. Sounds like pretty promising though. So like you might be joining us. I don't know if you have a huge say in it. By the way, guys, Carla and Doc Freeland, I don't know if Doc is also there, but you got Carla at least. They're parts of the amazing Sparta Celtic Festival. So that's kind of cool. We have Sparta representatives coming with us. I'm working on the Holland Celtic Fest guys to also join us. So yeah, it's going to be like a little bit of a reunion with that. But Doc and Carla are amazing people. They're also part of the Grand Rapids Scottish Society, or at least I saw you there, so I'm assuming you're members of it. Great people. So if they join, you guys will thoroughly enjoy them. Xander says, yeah, they will. Contactless works. We do. Oh, wait. Sorry. Already read that one. Cool. Cabbies take cards. Yeah. Yeah, man. These were all amazing questions. So I actually created a sort of everything you need to know about Scotland for the band when we went in 22, because I think only a few of the band members had like been to Canada, and that was the most. Most of them had not been out of the country and definitely hadn't like left the continent. So it was a whole big thing. I just wanted to make sure that they were completely prepared for it. So I made a whole like Scotland 101, sort of everything you need to know. And what I was thinking was I would maybe share that with for sure all of the people who sign up officially for the trip. But if everybody else is interested in it, I mean, I can make that available. Maybe just make a post about it on our socials in the near future. But yeah, it's kind of like everything you need to know. I also have one for like places to see and go to that I wrote when I was just there the first time. So I knew a lot about a few things. I should probably add to it. But yeah, I've got some good materials. Bev asks, do you know if the hotels have hair dryers in the rooms? These specific hotels, I do not know. They are a lot like ours where they usually do, but keyword on the usually. Sorry, this is like really intense music. This is like a whole dance party happening behind me. Oh, you guys can't hear it anyway? Okay, good. Let's really, here, I'll turn it up a little bit. It's mostly because, again, like this microphone is, it's a studio mic, so it's designed for like just right here in this space. So it's actually doing its job. And there's probably actually some noise cancellation happening maybe too. But anyway, yeah, the hair dryers, I don't know. It's honestly, that would be one. Again, our the page where you go to sign up for the trip has that PDF on there that lists all of the hotels that we're going to stay at. You might want to even get yanked back here by this cat. Hold on. Come here, buddy. Oh my God. Everybody, this is a little jerk face that has been trying to take down this live stream multiple times. This is Glenn Fiddick. He is one of three brothers. He is mine. Love me. Love me. My sister owns the other two, and they're here staying with me for the holidays. And so we got Glenn Fiddick, Glenn Levitt, and Glenn Breton. Glenn Breton is from Nova Scotia, the whiskey is. So they're all named after whiskeys. If you can't tell them apart and you can't remember their name, you can just call them Glenn. They all respond to it. But yeah, this is Fid, and he has a personality, let me tell you. I know the places we stayed in Ireland did have hair dryers. Okay, that's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, my gut says most of them probably will. I mean, these are, I think on average, like 4-star hotels that we're staying in. So, and they are used to like American travelers, so they probably should be able to accommodate that. I do have like a travel hair dryer. I mean, like this doesn't just happen naturally. But I put a lot of work into this. But yeah, I do have like a travel one that I would bring on trips like this. So yeah, I mean, it's totally your call. And again, it's kind of what you want to travel with. When you buy these transatlantic flights, the weight limit is usually right around 50 pounds. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that one of the hacks I learned actually from Joanne Ladio, she's Diana Ladio's mom from the Moxie Strings. She likes to pack her suitcase with an empty shoebox. And so when she gets to her destination, she tosses out the box, and now she has that built-in space for souvenirs and gifts for when she gets back home. So yeah, those are some things you want to. Actually, tacking on to that, one of the hacks I learned from Diana herself is to pack smartly. It can be really hard for some people to travel somewhere and not overpack and feel like, whoa, I might use this. If you're only going to wear that article of clothing one time, then you don't need it. It's really difficult, but you can do that. And her other hack was to, try and make sure that everything that she packs can go with something else. So if it's a special shirt, that says something really specific on it, unless you really need it, maybe go for something a little plainer that can go with like these pants and skirts if you're, a lady or whatever, so that you can switch stuff and, accessorize. And that way you're not bringing so much things with you. You have more space in your backpack. It helps you with the weight limit. Yeah, just some things to take into consideration. He's huge. So cute. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's freaking adorable, isn't he? He gets on my nerves, but I do love him. He's kind of like a dog. If the weather is anything like Ireland, the humidity is going to wreck your hair. Yes. Yes, it is. The springtime is usually pretty wet. I am hoping, we're going to be right in we originally were going to go in May, and I'll be honest with you guys, the prices were pretty intense. And so by moving it up a month to April, we were able to save quite a bit of money for just on the price for people to go. So, yeah, I guess just be prepared for that. It's it can be intense. Again, your raincoats, your waterproof shoes, those are going to be your best friends. Did you get him? I don't know what he's doing. Oh, yeah, I have 2 cats. I didn't even realize there was one right here. So he's trying to mess up his brother, I guess, underneath the table here. Oh boy. Love them. Love these cats. April time shouldn't be too bad for humidity. Then again, we've had snow that time of year before. Yes. Yes. And Xander, what's the little flower that pops up? They're like snowbells or something. It's a little white, and I think, yeah, they're usually white, but it's so cool because it's like the green grass is starting to come through the snow, and then you have these white little, they look like bells coming up out of the snow. Snow could be a deal breaker. Okay, well, no snow. I already called ahead. We will have no snow. Like I said, it's oh, sorry, Carly, you weren't here for the beginning. Scotland's weather is just very temperamental. And so again, if you don't like it, you just wait 5 minutes. Could be on the bus. It should not be that cold. Snowdrops? Yeah, that might be it. Or no, wait, no, that's what I said. You're questioning it. I see. Snowdrops? I can't remember, but they're really cute little flowers. Yeah, anyway, if anything, we'll probably just see mostly rain. Yes, possible to have snow in April, but just so do we here sometimes, on little freak days. So totally possible, but not by any means the end of the earth. Besides, we're all going to be together and just enjoying Scotland. Let's see. Here, let's see. I think I can show you guys the overlay. There we go. Yeah, look, you guys are asking such good questions here. Love it. Can I scroll it? No, it's not gonna let me. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, we're starting to drop out a little bit. I mean, we've been on here for a good hour and a half, so no, you guys have been awesome. I mean, I can hang out here for a couple more minutes maybe and just see if anybody else has any questions. I can try and think of any other tips. Maybe something to be prepared for with restaurants. Uh, what we found on our last trip was they did not like if we were asking to split a bill. So what might be easiest is to just have somebody pay, and then through Venmo, Cash App, whatever you guys want to use, PayPal, pay each other back. They, for some reason, had a real issue every time that we wanted to split bills. And the other thing is, we're very used to like getting a to-go bag, kind of thing, or a doggy bag. They do not do that. There was one place we stopped at on the Isle of Skye, and we had to ask like in 3 different ways to explain what we wanted. And we just wanted a box. And they're like, "You want a box? Do you want a box for?" Trying to explain it, and they literally went into the bag. They're like, "Yeah, I think we have one. Hey, let me see if we still have it." Come out with the styrofoam box. They just like, I mean, their proportions aren't, I would say, as big as ours, but also, they don't over order, they don't overeat, so they get, kind of exactly what they want. So kind of just be prepared for that. You might get some quizzical looks, but again, they're all great. Hospitality is unmatched in my opinion, so they'll take care of us. But primrose. The only primrose we get in Scotland that I'm aware of is purple in color and by the cliffs usually. So glad you have planned this trip, says Tamara. So very excited. Thank you for all your hard work. Aw, thanks, Tammy. Tammy was on one of the Ireland tours. So that's super exciting to have her. And so was Linda Temple. So yeah, great to have you guys with us. That's going to be so great. And like I said, I do know a good portion of you guys already. And so like, I'm just really excited to have you guys there. And my love language is like sharing places that I love and experiences that I love. So, I mean, I'm just going to be over the moon to share this with all you guys. Splitting bills and takeaways are a big deal breaker. Coming from Scottish hospitality experience, it's a pain. There you go. Right from the source. They do not like it. There was one too. Oh, they couldn't stand when, now granted, we were up like in the north, like in Fort William, Inverness, and like we're trying to find places, and there was 7, 8, 9 of us at a time usually. And we'd come in and say, "Hi, can we get a table for 9?" And they'd look around like, "Oh, no, we kind of do that." And I was like, "What? Why not?" Or like, "You can split us up." And literally, the one, I think the girl was at the end of her shift just having a bad day, and she just goes, "Absolutely not." Shut the door. Like, all right, moving on next door. Let's try it again. Going to McDonald's. Dude, yeah. Here, let me see if I can, Xander, let me see if I can find this Scottish snow flower. Oh yeah, snowdrop. Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. Snowdrops. What do I call them? Snowbells? I don't even know. Oh man, this has been so much fun, you guys. Just thank you so much for actually entertaining me. I hope I was able to return the favor somewhat. I don't know. I was prepared that I could maybe do one of these again. Maybe January might be too soon. Maybe in February. If you guys thought this was helpful, I mean, it might be a lot of the same, but just in case, I knew this was getting into a busier season with the holidays, so I didn't know if this was going to be like not available or an option for people to meet. So yeah, I want to just make sure that everybody has as much information as possible. As you can see, I have no problem talking, especially about Scotland stuff. So yeah, would be more than happy to do that if you guys are interested. If you do want to have big tables, says Xander, often booking in advance is recommended. Even on the day, calling ahead would be highly appreciated. Oh yeah, Becky was there too. I know, right? It's a great soundtrack. Yes, thank you so much, Xander. For I should have invited you from the beginning to be my guy to ask, for confirmation on this stuff. So yeah, the hard part for us is obviously that we're a traveling tour group. So we do what we can. And I will say, like in the larger cities, it probably won't be too much of an issue. At least that's my experience in Ireland too. Oh, that fiddle. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but this is just something else right now. Drought Bander, check it out. This was super helpful. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yeah, no, happy to provide this. This was great. This was a lot of fun. We really liked the presentation and discussion. Thanks, Melissa. That means a lot. Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. The whole band is. I mean, we were missing it the minute we stepped on that plane to come home. So this has been a long time in the making. I mean, that's the thing. We started talking with Hammond Tours. Well, first with ourselves. I mean, probably, spring of 23. Seeing if we wanted to do something like this. It might have been even spring of 23. That was the first time I think we started talking as a band. And so my trying to tell them, what my experience had been, and that because we did it completely by ourselves when we went in 22. That was all us. And we raised, you guys might remember, we raised the funds just with our gig money. We didn't pay ourselves basically for a year so that we could pay for everybody in the band to go. And so your support in this, just like, I can't even begin to explain to you how much that means to us. Thanks for taking the time for this Q&A. My wife and I are already registered and very much looking forward to the trip. Aw, thanks, Kevin. Actually, yeah, no, I remember seeing your name on there. So yeah, I'm real excited to get to know you guys more. Always happy to help, Steve. Thanks, buddy. Xander. Linda says, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Xander, too. I know. Isn't he great? He's so great. Very helpful, and April can't get here fast enough. You're telling me. Although I could also use like another year and a half to plan even more. Carla wants to see Glenn one more time. How many of him can you grab? I'll hold him. Is Brody still over here? No. Okay. Why are you the way you are? All right. So this is Fiddick. Yeah. Or if you want to just grab one and then trade them off, that works. Or yeah, here, give them to me. Oh, this is stupid. This is Breton. Another brother. No. Hey. No. And this is Livet. Another brother. 3 gigantic cats. Very hairy cats. And then you saw Dilly earlier, some of you. She found me. She was, can you get her? No, she gone? She is not as social, but when she chooses to hang out with you, I mean, it's the honor of a lifetime. I think my assistant sister Sierra is trying to nap her right now. Shelly says, thanks for this. We've been packing things since we signed up, but this has reminded us. Oh, I see you. Hi, Dilly. This has reminded me of a few more. This was fun. Awesome. Well, good. That makes me feel so good. Happy to help with you there, Shelly. Brenda says, always wanted to go to Scotland, so thanks to you and our kids, we are coming. Awesome, Brenda. Love it. Carla says, looks like my kitty that just passed. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Cats are great, aren't they? I never thought I was going to be a cat owner. I mean, like I had one growing up and like I like them, but I love them and dogs equally. But yeah, having a dog would be a little bit too much, I think, for me right now, just at the moment. So the cats, I can barely handle. Michael says, this was very fun and informative. Thanks for taking the time. Oh, well, thank you guys. Did you got her? Oh, amazing. Come here, baby girl. This little one, this is Pickledilly. Or Piccadilly, and we just call her Dilly for short. She looks worried 100% of the time. Like a little bush baby. She's getting her screen time here. This little one, though, has completely turned me into mush. I lose my man card every time I see her because I just want to cry. She's so cute. Anyway, thank you. Good job catching her. She likes to sleep on people, so that's like the next level. If you can get her to like you enough where she actually like sits on your lap and takes a nap on you, it's the best thing ever. Oh yeah. Xander says Fiddick would not leave me alone when I stayed over. Loved the attention. And how's Hazy? Oh yeah, Hazy is my parents' dog. So she was just a tiny puppy when Xander was here. She's doing great. She's a handful, but we love her. Alrighty. Well, yeah, I'm probably not going to talk too much more here. You guys have all been amazing. Thank you so much for participating and asking really great questions. Like I said, yeah, I might. Oh, you know what? Here, I can show you this. Let's see if I can do this right. Oh, I made this to show earlier. Here's the link to the tour itself. So if you want to take a snapshot of that real quick or write it down or whatever, this is posted, this link everywhere on all of our socials right now, but this is where you go to actually sign up for the tour. Here, I'll show you this. Excuse me. Kind of the same thing. If you want to copy this down. So this, I'm repurposing the link that we used to garner interest and see if this was actually going to be a thing. You might remember from our 23 season. What this is, I know that not everybody can come on the trip, and we hope that as many of you can as possible, but we totally understand. You know, maybe it's just not the right time. You have another conflict, totally fine. We've had this email subscription list where we've been giving information to people before we post it online. So you might remember the campaign that we were just doing, kind of going through the itinerary on our socials on Facebook and Instagram. It was like a nice little short little blurb. Well, people who were signed up on the email list got like a much longer version of that with same pictures but like more in-depth descriptions, which is essentially everything that I went through tonight. But so that's kind of the benefit of being on that list, is that you're getting it ahead of time. You're getting a little bit more information. So what we're going to do is, if you want to stay on that list or join that list now or in the future, and you're not able to go, you can still stay up to date with us while we're in Scotland. So I'm going to do my best. It's hard, but to kind of give this email list little updates here and there, behind the scenes stuff, little stories, pictures, whatever we can come up with on the day. And that would be like your exclusive little sneak peek into what we're up to if you're not able to join us. We want you to still participate if you want to, and come on this journey with us, because this is going to be insane for us. It's such a great milestone. So yeah, we want to be able to share it with people as much as we can. Let's see. Have a great Christmas. Looking forward to April. See you soon. Thanks so much, Tammy. Yep. Really looking forward to seeing you too. And happy holidays to everybody. Oh my gosh. Ooh, did I miss comments down here? Okay. No, it looks like just one maybe. I'm so bummed that I would have loved to have joined you, says, oh boy, Cat Travels 521. Sorry, it's an Instagram handle, so it was kind of weird for me to read. Unfortunately, I'm teaching that week. Scotland is one of my favorites, and I cannot wait to return at some point. Yeah, no, I totally get it. We did have to make a tough decision on when to go. You guys were all so great too, and like letting us know when worked best for you. And we had a lot of teachers that were really hoping for something in the summer so that they could. And we had to go with what worked best for most people, so we had to hit, what was it? I think at least 20 people to make the trip happen. And we have surpassed that. In and around Edinburgh, asks Bev, are there days that things, places, castles, etc. are closed? Oh, huh. That's a good question. If I understand what you're asking, don't really think so. No, I'm pretty sure like Edinburgh Castle is open 7 days a week. They do have, you know, like times that they operate in, but especially anything right there on the Royal Mile, that is like super you know, tourist driven, and so yeah, they're open as much as they can be, I would say. um sure, wouldn't hurt to maybe look ahead, but like I said, we're gonna come back at the end of the tour, so you exactly, if you see something and you just can't quite fit it in that first day, and trust me, we're all going to be dragging and pretty tired that first day, you might want to save it for when we come back. Again, I don't know how much time we'll have when we come back, but it is an option anyway. All right. I'm coming up to 10 too. So I think I'll just give it a couple more minutes here, but I think we'll be just about ready to sign off. This has been so much fun. Thank you guys. So yeah, I'll give a couple more minutes. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. Absolutely nothing. Just getting all fat and sassy on your couch like I will. No, just kidding. What are we doing? We got a Christmas Eve thing. We've got Christmas Day. Eurovision. Yep, that is our, for some reason, our holiday Christmas movie tradition to watch Eurovision Song Contest. The Fire Saga. Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, ding dong. If you have not seen Eurovision, I would give it a look. Especially because half of the movie takes place in Edinburgh. I mean, it's Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell at their absolute finest. And it's on Netflix. Thank you. It's also one of the most iconic moments. Like I resonate with the character, or the character resonates with me rather. That Will Ferrell plays, where he's this guy who just will not give up on his dreams of being a full-time musician. It gets into this Eurovision Song Contest, which is like our American Idol, but way better, because it's like the best in each country and they're competing against each other. And so they finally make it in, and they're in Edinburgh, and he's just living his best life. He's like leaning back in the chair, and like there's people right behind him. He's talking loud enough so they can, oh yes, we're here for the song contest. Well, we are Fire Saga. Very excited. And it's just like, that was me when we were there, when I was with my bandmates, and just like, yeah, we're CrossBow. We're from America. Happy to be here. And I didn't get tossed out. I even did my Scottish accent, which Xander said I got like, what do you give me? Like a solid, I thought you gave me like a 7 out of 10, maybe. Maybe I'm being too generous with myself there, but I have never been so nervous, I think, up to that point, when I had to do the Scottish accent in McPherson's Lament to a room not just full of Scots, but of McPherson's. And I told them afterwards, I was a very sweaty person in that moment. Some places on Sundays may not be open. Not sure exactly what day you are there, but that's not always the case, and typically would only for the cafes or such. But main shops and castle will be open. Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring. Thank you, Xander. You are killing it, my dude. Have a Merry Christmas and a fantastic New Year. Play Ya Ding Dong. I know, it's so stupid and catchy. I love it and I hate it. Alan Higgins. Oh, hi. How you doing, Alan? Glad you could join us. All righty. Well, that's hitting the 10-2 mark. So I think we're officially going to sign off. But yeah, thank you guys again. I cannot say it enough. This was amazing, and really looking forward to hanging out with you guys over in Bonnie, Scotland. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, wait, we got one thing. We will be coming with 4 family members. Holy cow. Thank you, Alan and family. Can't wait. Yeah, no, we're really looking forward to it. Hanging out with and getting to know all you guys. It's going to be great. Little disappointed the bandmates did not join in. I saw some comments. Merry Christmas from the Freelands. Thanks, Carla. Yep, you too. But yeah, no, I promise they will all be there too. And yeah, you'll have you'll have every opportunity to grill them about all the most embarrassing questions you can think of. Alrighty, I think that's it for us for tonight. Again, this will be posted afterwards, so if you were late to the party here, no worries. You can rewatch it on your own whenever this does get posted. But yeah. Oh, you know what? Tell you what, to thank you guys for one last thing for joining us. I will maybe share some potential updates here for our upcoming season. So if you can't see us in Scotland, let's see. We're St. Pat's is what we're working on really hard right now. But you may have seen we posted back in October. We had this amazing opportunity to play for the Association of Irish and Celtic Festivals, which is this big club. I think they had 40, 45 festivals that were there, representatives, and they have this big conference to learn from each other and talk about, what worked, what didn't. And then they bring in, I mean, they have submissions from hundreds of bands and they bring in only 12. And we were one of them. And so was On the Lash, who you might also recognize from most of the members from the founding. They're also their founder, one of their founders, Joel, is also from Chelsea, like I am. But anyway, so we had pretty good Michigan representation, including from the festivals. And Doc and Carla were there from Sparta. You had and Bill Lynch, the extra large leprechaun, Holland, Celtic Fest, Michigan Irish Music Festival. I mean, Detroit Highland Games. There was all kinds of people there, but amazing experience. And so we got exposure to all these big festivals. So there's some really exciting things in the works. Some of them might work out for this next year. Some of them are probably going to be 2026. We're talking about like some in Wisconsin, one even in Texas, New Hampshire. Yeah, we had some really good talks, but I think you'll see us at most of our regulars this summer with a couple of additions. So we've had some really good talks with Holland, Sparta, the Michigan Celtic Festival, formerly known as Saline Celtic Festival, Michigan Irish. Let's see, Detroit Highland Games, the Motor City Irish Festival, of course. That's one of our first ones of the year. Coming up in January, we'll be back in Grand Rapids for the Winter Wheat Festival over at the intersection there. We'll be there on January 11th. And yeah, St. Pat's. What are we doing? Oh, I haven't memorized these just yet, so this is going to be rough. I know that we're doing things all three of the first 3 Saturdays. One will they're theater shows mostly, and one will be in partnership with the Jackson Symphony Orchestra. We're not playing with them yet, but we'll be doing their St. Pat's party over there in Jackson, Tecumseh, and oh shoot, I want to say Lapeer. We'll see. As always, we will post our tour. So when it's absolutely official, you guys will hear first and it'll all be out there. So yeah, just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yep. I'm off to bed as it's late here in Bonnie, Scotland, as Steve says. Bonnie, Scotland. Hopefully see you all in April. Absolutely, buddy. No, sounds good. Okay, I promise I'm going now. See, the problem is I don't have the rest of the band to tell me to shut up. Anyway, all right. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season, and we'll see you somewhere real soon. Thanks.